This is Jack Dennett, inviting you to Maple Leaf Hockey Talks with goaltending star Johnny Bower.
They usually mob you, more or less. This is something that happens. I mean, you hug and you kiss each other because you're so happy and thrilled that you've won the Stanley Cup, and it's so hard, really, to explain. The game's all over and you won it, and you go in there and you have your drink of champagne out of the Stanley Cup, which is something I know that every boy would someday like to drink out of that Stanley Cup.
10 seconds from the Stanley Cup. The crowd are going wild. Bauer's handled everything coming his way in this final period drive by Detroit, and he looks tired but defiant. Here's a move by Howe. Howe takes a long shot. Bauer clears to the side. The game is over. The game is over. The Leafs have won the Stanley Cup for the second time in succession, and Bauer is mobbed by his teammates. Bauer has been a standout in this 5-game series, and when the Leafs showed signs of weakening, he was always there with the big stops. Now the crowd are giving Bauer and his mates a tremendous ovation. What a night.
Coming to Toronto here and playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs and winning the Stanley Cup, it's just tremendous. It's so hard, really, to say the feeling the player has. Your body goes numb and everything, and the people think you're just wonderful, which the way they praise us and that, and it is a great feeling to win the Stanley Cup. Everybody wants to be on a Stanley Cup team.
For Johnny Bower, the road to Stanley Cup fame has been long and somewhat indirect. Unlike most of the players we've talked to on this series, Johnny's career began out west.
I was born in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, quite a few years ago, and actually that's where I started my hockey. As a boy, naturally, I started playing from Pee-wee and worked my way up to midget hockey. And from then on, I went to juvenile. I played there for a while, for a couple of years, and then moved up to junior hockey. And from then, I had an opportunity to sign a tryout agreement with the Cleveland Barons of the American Hockey League. We won the Calder Cup out of the 10 years I was there. We won it in 8.
One of the highlights of those early years was his first call to the major leagues.
I had one big exciting moment when the New York Rangers drafted me, and I was there one full season, and after that they didn't want me anymore, and I went back to Providence, Rhode Island, and I stayed there for a couple more years, and then back to my old stamping ground at Cleveland. And then I figured, well, my National League career was over.
But any plans for settling down in Cleveland were short-lived. Just when he thought it was over, his National League career was about to begin.
And all of a sudden, Bob Davidson came down one day and talked to me and asked me how I think of playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I thought at that stage, in my age, I said I didn't think I could help the Maple Leafs. And he said, we're very desperate, so I didn't really want to go because I didn't think I was good enough. So I was drafted, and there wasn't too much I could do about it. And I got down to Toronto, and I've been a very happy fellow.
And the Leafs have been very happy with Johnny. He's an all-time favorite with the fans, and since joining the Leafs, he's made the All-Star team, won the Vezina Trophy, the Bickle Trophy, and been chosen as most valuable player on the Leaf Club. Quite a record for a man who didn't think he was good enough. It takes courage, dedication, and a truly remarkable physique to be Johnny Bower. Foster Hewitt, the man who's seen them all come and go, shares the sports world's amazement.
There have been many great goalkeepers, but I think Johnny Bower rates up there with the very best. Not only does he have an amazing durability, but also terrific reflexes for a man of an unknown age. I have never known anybody to be as agile or nimble in the years I've watched hockey. When he's up and at his peak, I defy any team or player to make an impression on him. If you can forget his age, and nobody knows it, you would almost think he's in the junior class. He's just as agile as some of the so-called rookies. Even Detroit's Roger Crozier isn't any faster. And he's old enough to be Crozier's father. I marvel at his ability to do the splits. You'd think something would break. Most good goaltenders became famous because there were certain things they excelled in. I can remember fellows like Bill Dernan, Frank Brimsick, Turk Broda, George Hainsworth, Charlie Gardner, Johnny Mowers, and Tiny Thompson. Bauer is a composite of a number of these greats of the past. All those features are rolled into one. I think we're now seeing history in the making. Bauer will go down in the annals of hockey as one of the most durable and acrobatic types of goaltenders of all time. He's just a remarkable hunk of human flesh.
The pundits feel the Bauer days will go on forever. Let's listen to Johnny's own feelings on this subject.
I'm hoping to continue on another 2 years anyway, so I can be a 10-year man in the NHL. And, of course, with the new expansion and that, there is maybe a good possibility I might even last 5 years. It'll naturally be a sorry day for me when I do hang up my skates, but I can't go on forever, and I just hope that I'm here in Toronto with some good junior club.
The biography of Johnny Bauer, one of the truly incredible stories in professional sport. Johnny, always a modest man, says he'll play perhaps another couple of years, but who knows? His whole career has been filled with the unexpected.
Hi, everyone. This is Ward Cornell. We're going to learn about playing goal from one of the most durable and consistently excellent players in the National Hockey League. Johnny Bauer has been around a long time, but even so, Punch Imlach says he can keep playing as long as he likes.
Well, I feel that Johnny Bauer is probably the greatest example in the world today of an athlete who can continue just as long as he really wants to do it. Bauer is probably the most studious and hard-working athlete that I've ever had playing for me.
Hard work is one of the reasons Johnny is still a top player in the National Hockey League. It has its fringe benefits, too.
In the 22 years that I played pro hockey, I've only put on a pound every year out of those 22 years. So I put on 22 pounds in 22 years, so I consider myself very, very, very lucky. But this is because of the hard work.
Punch keeps Johnny Bauer busy in many ways. One of the most important extras is helping newcomers.
Johnny will do anything that we will wish as far as teaching our goaltenders, and we do this to just about every kid that comes in. We give John a chance to get to him and explain what he thinks how the game should be played.
A player coming down one wing, we'll say the right wing, and if you vague idea, leave your post and we'll skate out real slow. Of course, you've got to study the fellow that's coming down too. There may be 2-on-1 break, but no matter whether there's 2-on-1 breaks, you have to follow the man with a puck all the time. And if he is coming down, you skate out a little ways, you keep skating till his angle is cut off. But watch the short side so he doesn't get in the short side, and he has you have a better chance of him shooting and missing the net on the far side than you would have him giving him about 3 feet in the short side and hoping you're going to move there and you'll get it, because these fellas in the NHL are pretty sharp and they can thread a needle. So you just can't give them anything. You got to play your post and skate right out and cut off the angle. You have a better chance of stopping your second shot by standing on your feet, as Punch always mentioned. Stand up, stand up, stand up. This is a big thing.
Johnny also has plenty of basic advice for you youngsters just beginning to play goal.
To be a goaltender, I feel you want to stay in one position. Once you put those pads on, there's going to be your good days and bad days, and you got to get used to it. For a lot of young goalkeepers I see, they're stand-up goalkeepers, and they have a lie of about 11, which is wrong for them, because a goaltender that crouches a lot should have a lower lie, and a goaltender that stands up more, like Gump, more or less, he has a higher lie. I believe he uses about a 14. So I would suggest watch the way your stance is. I mean, if it's a low stance, fine. You use a lower stick. If it's a higher stance, you stand up more, then you use a higher lie.
Your stick is important, and don't take your skates for granted either.
You'll find a big difference in goal skates and tube skates. They're a lot lower in the ice for one thing, and you have to get used to them, and you can't turn the corners in goal skates as you can in tubes. The goaltender skates are much easier to slide from one side of the net to the other, where tube skates are very difficult. So if you want to start now, you might as well start with a pair of goal skates and good equipment.
You've seen Johnny play, and you know he plays out of the net almost as much as in it. That means a goaltender has to know how to skate.
I think he's got to be a skater. He's got to be, try and be just as good as his forward or defense. This is a big thing because a lot of times you might have to go out of your net to clear a puck, and if you're a slow skater, you're going to look very funny being caught out of your net. And if you're a pretty fast skater, at least you get a chance to get to the puck before the opposing player and shoot it out of your own zone. Another thing is, which I do a lot, or Punch makes me do a lot, is I take my stick and lay it on top of the goal net, and he lines up about 40 pucks, and he gets 2 players, 1 in each end, and they just fire them in rapid fire. And this helps build your reflexes. This makes you slide from one side of the net to the other side of the net. Don't worry about the rebound or anything, just as long as you can stop the puck and learn how to cut off the angles.
Listen now as Johnny sums up his 3 broad suggestions to goalies.
Hard work is a big thing in goalkeeping. Confidence is another one. And always talk to your teammates while you're out there, and they'll always talk back to you because you play as a team. You don't play for yourself. You play as a whole unit. And this is where you win hockey games.
This is the way you win hockey games. When Johnny Bauer says it, you'd better believe it. Now here's Punch Imlach with the final word on Johnny's great contribution to the Maple Leaf team.
He has the greatest attitude of anybody. Every time a fellow shoots the puck at the net, Johnny wants to stop him. Practice, game, doesn't make any difference. Fooling around, it's the same thing. He's a competitor and one of the best competitors there is. Bauer is the type of goaltender that cuts the angles, and he plays he doesn't give you the short side. He plays everything right down the aisle the best way. Other goaltenders, some of them fall, others will give you the short side, and then there's other ones again that will try to outguess you. Naturally, I think Bauer's style is the best there is.
On behalf of Johnny Bauer, Punch Imlach, Foster Hewitt, and Jack Dennett, this is Ward Cornell to say we hope that you are enjoying Maple Leaf Hockey Talks as much as we enjoy bringing them to you.